I
Hey,
think.
everybody, this is Dr. J, Professor Spike and Kamal, from live from Long Island, New York. A little, how is it today? A little chilly, right?
No, it's nice.
Nice.
It was nice. It was
I
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I
Nice
was
and overcast.
outside most of the time.
It was
Well,
every
on
now and then
Wall
a couple of
Street,
raindrops.
at around midday, I was having a phenomenal day. I was all smiles. Everything was going my way, green everywhere except for maybe a Novus and Sava. But about an hour later, CRISPR started to collapse. The innovation day that they had event today apparently wasn't innovative enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it collapsed from
Right.
over $75 a share. It hit 59 before settling at 64 and a half. I didn't sell anything. I nearly bought puts for protection like I said I was going to do. Hey, look who's with us today. Greg is with us. Greg, I haven't seen you in the ages. Ages. We miss you, Greg. How's everything? How you been? Hope you're making money. Greg is the mayor of Stocktwits, by the way. The informal mayor.
He's famous.
There isn't anybody that doesn't know Greg. So it's always a pleasure to have Greg join us on the show. It's like having the mayor join you. So I'm on it. Who else is with us today? Mark is with us today. SRNE, that stock still exists. Sorrento,
But all the talk, it's up to 2013 cents.
It's still a company. It still has.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the 1 year chart to find out where it was.
I mean, SRNE. Jake. You call him Jake. It doesn't deserve to exist.
Yeah.
Jake does not like that.
He thought that one was 15. Now it's 2 and change.
Yeah.
This one's had a bad year since October, also, just like the rest of them.
Yeah. Mopbuck is with us. Sorrento, Greg's friend has it. Alexis is with us. And Regamarco from Switzerland is into Mareo Pharmaceuticals. I bought Mareo on Friday. Remember I told you? Come on.
Oh, that was one of the ones you were tweeting about.
Yeah, so I bought it, and so far it's been a good buy. I picked it up, I don't remember, like $1.30 at the close. So I think it hit $1.66. So I don't know if it closed at that. It was up today. And Greg knows everybody. I tell you, Greg knows everybody. See, he knows
At the mayor, he said.
Yeah. Andrew, I'm still crying about CRISPR, Andrew. I'm also second guessing myself why I didn't.
One of these days, CRISPR.
Why I didn't buy protection. I should have bought protection, bought the puts. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, as Kamal says.
Should have bought protection.
Paul is with us today.
Like a true teenager.
Yeah, I mean,
Greg knows everybody.
Greg knows everybody. Come on, there isn't anybody Greg doesn't know. And everybody knows Greg. You know, when Greg advertises the show, I get like twice as many viewers. if he reshares a link or something. All right. So let's get started with some charts, right? Why not?
Charts.
Yeah, that's something that we do. Something that we do occasionally is look at charts.
Yeah, it's we're not all talk.
Gives us something to do. Now we could look at, I suppose we could look at the overall market averages. It's not a bad thing to do.
Well, yeah, if you want to smile a little bit more.
Yeah, the S&P 500 up 2.5%. Kamal called it. He said we're going to have a good start for the week. Dow up 2%. The Nasdaq up 2.5%. The Russell 1.7%. Crude oil inching up another $1. The averages did really good today. Gold flat, silver up slightly, 10-year bond up 2% or 0.06 basis points to 330 as it's
Yeah, it
inching.
looks like the market's more worried about stagnation than inflation.
I don't know what it's worried about. Worried about the big R, not the little r. Apparently, the distinguishing between the big R and the little r. It's not a question of if we get the R. It's which R do we get, the little R or the big R.
Oh, I see.
Bitcoin is up 600 points or 3% to 20,820. Remember, I said on Friday that 13,700 is next stop if this thing goes down.
Right.
If this, yeah, I mean there's nothing. It looks like 13,700. All right, let's take a look at some of the actual charts. Might as well start with SPY. There's
That's
nothing
fine.
much to say. I'm looking at the monthly. I drew the Fibonacci retrace. The 50% retrace looks like a good stopping point, slightly above the 50-month moving average. It would be 349.32 roughly, somewhere around there. I didn't do it to the nearest decimal, I'm sure, but that's approximately the 50%. And that looks like a very good target ultimately for a bottom. Where we're going to go in the short term is probably up at least to 380 to 400, probably 400.
Yep.
I think we get a rally that brings us back to SPY 400. Where would that take us? That would take us right at this line here, which is also the 38.2% retrace. I think we rally up to 400. So I think we got 25 more SPY points to go. Arjun sees my 25 and raises me 25. So he's calling for 4.25, SPY 4.25. Let me see where that would be. It would be a little higher than in here. I'll try to draw it in. I'm going to put Arjun's 4.25 to 435. His
Might
target.
as well.
That's
Kind of.
probably the 50-day moving
If you
average.
build it, he will come.
Yeah, 420, 422, right about here. No, that's wrong. The low is for, I got to move it up.
I know it looks like a right spot to me.
For 4.25.
Not a 420.
Yeah, that's 420. That's 428. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
So right around there would be Arjun's target, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of touches right at that 428 number, you know. It's a high. It's a high of the month before, of last month at 428.99. It's the low of this September 2021. It's just a lot of touches at that 428. So 428 this rally, if it has legs, could take us to 428. I kind of think it takes us back to the 38.2 mark at about 381, or maybe the 400 mark. Where's the 400 mark? Right about in here. Let me draw that. That's 398, 400, right around there. So I think either it takes us to 380, which is very close to where we are. In other words, we have basically this is it, or we go up to 400, which is more likely, right around there. 400 was a lot of support for a while. Remember, that was a low, 400 point something, and it held for a long time. So 400 is a good target in my mind. That's what I'm looking at for this little bounce. I don't think it'll be a major bounce. Arjun says major bounce. 4.25, 428, 435, around there. Okay, we'll see who's right. Hopefully Arjun.
Exactly.
He's more optimistic than me right now. Let's look at the XBI all right, XBI. X this one out. XBI we've looked at over and over again. There's a lot of support right here at 13,796. One hit.
This is Bitcoin that we're looking at now?
Yeah, this is also the monthly. 13,796. We got two hits 2 months in a row. It's also the closing number back here in December of 17, the end of the year. The end of the year, it closed at 20,000. It closed at 13,657. In 2017, there's that number again. And of course, the next year it opened at about the same number, 13,625. And then we have these hits that I drew in right in here. In 6/2019, the high was 13,796. The next month, 13,129 in July. And all the way here on October 2020, the end of 2020 almost, it closed at 13,737. So that would be a lot of support right in that 13,700 area. Do we get that low? I hope not. But if the stock market continues to decline, if we hit that SPY 349 number, then I think we very well might hit Bitcoin 13,700. So I have a position in Bitcoin. I don't want that. I'm not bearish. I'm long, but I'm not really bullish at this point. I'm not going anywhere with my Bitcoin. I don't own pure Bitcoin. I own GBTC. I own Mara. I own MSTR. I own Coinbase, COIN. So I have.
You have Ethereum?
I own Ethereum, ETHE.
And AABB.
AABB is another one, yeah. So I own a lot of crypto type plays. I don't own the actual Bitcoin. Okay, that was just to be transparent that I am bullish, I'm not bearish. It's just that the chart is telling me that 13,700 and something dollars is like a magnet for Bitcoin. Hope it doesn't get there. The spiders on the biotech spiders, XBI is looking very good. It bounced off support. Remember Friday I said between XBI and SMH and what was the other one that we looked at? IWM. I liked XBI the best. Today it had the best day of the three of them. And it has a lot of support at the lows. This is weird. I picked something up that's moving. I don't know how I did this. How did I do that? I made something unusual happen. Well, with me, nothing's unusual. Anyway, now I'm looking at crispy chart instead of XBI. I don't want to do that. XBI. So there's lots of support on XBI at the lows of the month last month, $61, $62, and same for this month. And also going back here to 3/2020, the pandemic lows, 62.94. So there's a lot of support right in this $62 area. And I think that will serve us well if we have another round of selling. I think $62 will hold. If it doesn't hold, then we're looking at a pretty major fall, likely to $45, $44. So that's if it doesn't hold. I suspect it'll hold. So I think that's why it's a fairly safe play. You've got you've got 8 points, 9 points on the downside, and infinity on the upside. So I like it. I like XBI. Of course,
Yeah, I like Infinity's potential.
You can't get a good feel from the monthly. You got to look at least the weekly. And you see that the first hurdle on the weekly is 74.67. So that looks like a very likely area of resistance. Whether we go through that or not, it's unclear. We get through that, we're looking at $97 on the weekly. If you break it down to the daily, you can break it down a little better. Actually, not much better. It's similar targets. The first target being 74.67, but there's another little target here at about 80. And then you're looking at a target all the way up at 97. So it's virtually infinity. You have a tremendous upside. I don't think you have a big downside at all on XPI. I mean, you could argue that 9 points is big downside because it's more than 10%. But to me, that's first something like XPI. That's nothing. 10%. I mean, if you're betting, if you're betting 100
one or
grand
two
on it,
disappointments, but we're used to.
if you're betting 100 grand on it, 10% is not nothing. It's still
Right.
You know, I think the downside is no more than 10, 11%. And I think the upside, like I said, is virtually infinity. Well, let's say it's $100 to round it out. So that's virtually 50% move, close to 50%. 10% on the downside, you could get 50% on the upside on an ETF. And if you want to be brave, then you go into Labu and you triple your gain, triple your pleasure, triple your fun, or triple your pain.
Triple your pain. Yep.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah, I'm hurting there too. I have a lot of Labu.
Well, the thing with these 3 times ETFs, Kamal, you can't stay in them. You got to get out quick. They're hit and run type stocks. You don't own them for a long time. It too, you could clearly see the bottom has been put in, apparently. And that bottom looks like 406. But 406 is not 10% of 575 is 520, not 406. You're looking at a much bigger hit because it's a 2 times play. Right? Labu, you have much more exposure. You can gain more, but it's a two-way street, unfortunately. I think I listed Tesla.
Maybe also have a request for Sava.
Very impressive day. Bounce back day for Tesla. We still have this nasty sequence of lower highs that we got to break. I want to break that. We want to break that.
Are you in this one, Dr. J?
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely in this one. I'm in it. I'm suffering the pain as it goes down. I certainly am. I'm in every big name stock there is almost.
You're in the market.
I'm in it. When you're in the market, you gotta own a little Tesla. I think we found bottom in Tesla.
Just say through ARC you own Tesla, right? I mean, I own Tesla through ARC.
I don't have any confidence that we break out of this triangle yet. But I do think that when we break out of it, we will break north. So I think kind of like the biotech index, you kind of know where the bottom is here, 100 points lower. But that's 15%, right? Yeah. On the other hand, if it breaks out and we break through this high of 792, I think the next stop is maybe to 200 at 910. So that's a significant move up, a couple of 100 points. You're risking maybe 100 points down, looking for 150 up. The thing is, right now it looks like mostly down, and it's going to make another lower high, I think.
Right.
So I think we trend down maybe to 672 before we break out. I could draw another triangle. I could draw another little triangle here. I think maybe we can break out of this by 7.5 and head north. That's what I'm looking at. I don't think we have to complete the big triangle, but if we do, that would take us past middle of July, past that. All right, so that's Tesla.
You want to do Sava for the audience?
Sure. Sava, Mareo. Sava, basically flat today, right? Didn't do much. Down a little. It has good support here.
So it didn't enjoy the rest of the rally, huh?
I think that's going to hold that support. But if it doesn't, then it's trouble. You know, I think it holds. I think 2243 looks good on the downside to me. And that means we got to start taking things out. I want to take out this pop that we made all the way to 37 bucks. That would be my goal. If I'm in Sava, and that's my goal. I want to take that out and go up, run all the way to the 200 right up here at about $42.
Any catalyst on Sava in the near future?
There could be news on interim results, I guess. There could be news on enrollment. There could be news on something that's clearing their name a little bit. They got a their name is a little bit muddied. I'm not sure of all the potential catalysts, but there could even be a buyout. Anything is possible, especially in bio-direct land, right? Could be a partner. Could be a partner. Could be a lot of things. Many possibilities. The chart looks okay, though. That's the main thing now. What about Chris for this one?
Well, Magnificent Answer says they said they could release interim results 6 months, which would be within the next few weeks if it would have happened.
Yeah. I said they could. I don't know that they will, but they could.
And then he also suggests that CUNY could come out and clear Wang.
Yeah, that could happen too, as I pointed out. But these are all potential, maybe type catalysts, you know, big maybes. Maybe they could be bought. That's another possibility. Look, I think I said most of them. And finally, partner. You know, it's almost the same. It's almost the same for any biotech. You could say potential buyout, potential partner, interim results, or whatever the heck it is. You know, you almost have the same story for every biotech. CRISPR let me down today. Look at that popped to 75.42. I was so close to buying puts. I was looking at the 74s. They were like $5 for a few weeks out. I thought it was too steep a premium. I just decided not to, and I was definite error as it collapsed on me. But it's collapsed before. I think we've seen the bottom here at $42. Of course, that's a long ways below 62, but I don't think it goes lower than that. So sure as heck wouldn't want to see it get there, but it could. Let's take a look at the weekly.
Yeah. Jumped out of that little Zoom channel.
Undo these drawings. I think we have to clear that 200 on the weekly. Definitely have to. That would be the $75 that we saw today as a high. We came close today, but we didn't see. Came right up to the 200, didn't it? Gotta clear that 200 on the weekly. Take a look at the daily. Same thing. The 200 is the clear-cut resistance for both the weekly and the daily on CRISPR, 200-day moving average, 200-week moving average. And notice how we have support at the 100. Isn't that interesting? I think it's interesting. And what's even more interesting is that in a single day, we tested the support and the resistance in a single day. And where did it close? Right in, well, more or less in the middle. It's a very strange day. Very strange. And it's all because of the Innovation Day. They had results today that were probably less than spectacular. They weren't a disaster, but they were less than spectacular. Interim results on their kidney cancer program, and all their programs. It didn't light a fire at all, really. I know the renal cell carcinoma, whatever it's called, that one did have one complete remission and stable disease in a good percentage of the trial participants. So it wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't spectacular. So,
Can you take a quick look at Walmart?
do I think what?
Walmart.
A Walmart? Sure. Walmart had a beautiful candle today.
Yep.
Looking at the daily here, it was very close to engulfing. I didn't quite make it, but this is a beautiful candle. I mean, it certainly appears that it has found bottom if you look at this chart. So there's a lot of stocks that appear to have found a bottom, and that's a healthy sign. And that's a sign that maybe Arjun is right, that we do get a more substantial run before turning it around, if we turn it around. 130.
It's a better market rally.
This is very likely to test 130 and maybe even gap fill up here. Where's that gap?
One would hope. It's supposed to be $150 stock.
Gap fill at 130, at 130, 135. I could see that happening. The question is, what happens after that? I think we get back to this upper end of the trading range, 129.90, rather easily. So the question is, what's next? Do we retest the lows again, or do we stay in this trading range that we've been in for the last 3 weeks, from 130 to 118, I think it is?
I'm cautiously optimistic the remainder of the week.
Yeah, well, I'm very optimistic. I think we run to 121.
Would be nice to have 2 days in a row.
Yeah, it would. It would be nice. Very nice. Nice for the market to put together two big green candles in a row. That would be very nice. Nice indeed. I wanted to look at MREO.
Right.
I bought it on Friday at the close, which was $1.30. So I'm making money so far. It hit 185 today, closed at 169. And was it heavy volume? Where's the volume? Pretty heavy, not like the day before. Friday was heavier, but there's all kinds of stuff going on. AstraZeneca is interested in buying the company. Novartis is mentioned as a suitor, and there's an activist shareholder that's causing all kinds of problems, shaking things up. I would say most of the time these activist shareholders are negative, but who knows? Maybe it'll be a positive for the stock. One broker that had a target of $10 lowered it to $5 because of the activist shareholder. Did not like it. As a rule, I don't like it either, but rules are made to be broken.
Yep.
I'm in this one for the buyout possibility. I'm thinking buyout at $3 to $4, very likely on this one. So that's why I bought it. See what happens. See where it goes. If it goes below the low Friday at 118, it's very likely to collapse all the way to 80 cents again. Fill the gap. So you want to see this candle not get the bottom of this candle hold 118. And I think we got enough of a buffer that it should. In fact, we should be up again tomorrow. This should run. This should be a runner, MREO. Dr. J runner. Actually, thanks to Jay on this one for tipping me off on this. And XERS is a J special. XERS is well off its lows. What was its lows? Recent lows $1.56, and it was much lower than that recently, not too long ago. I think, what was its low? This is the low right here, 1.25, yeah. So we're on the weekly. It hit 1.25. Had a doji candlestick last week, but with a slightly bigger tail than an upper wick. And so far this week, well, it's only one day. We have a doji candlestick forming, but it's very early in the week. Let's change to the daily. The daily looks better. As you can see, we have higher highs now for 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Even though we came off those highs today, we nevertheless put in another high. So we have a little Momo on this one. Let's see if we can keep this one going with a target of up here. I guess you'd have to be looking at, you got a series of lower highs. The last one, the significant one, is from May 31st, 242. That's what you want to take out. $242, and on the downside, this recent low should hold. 155 should hold. If 155 doesn't hold, I don't like this chart if it doesn't hold. But otherwise, the chart is fine. We look like we very well could get back up to 240. And of course, there's numbers along the way that we could be targeting. So let's see, off of this high today of 195. I guess you got this high here at about two and a quarter. It's another area of a little support, I would think, or I mean resistance. Well, this, I get confused. Sometimes I say resistance when I mean support. Sometimes I say
Well, they're one and the same.
It was basically, sometimes I say support when I mean resistance. So you interpret it accordingly, appropriately.
Right. Think of it as a line of interest.
That's
You're either
what
on top of it or under it.
That's what the viewer's job is, to interpret it accordingly. So did we do everything? We did everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're well past that 30 mark.
What did I say about Sava? Or
There's talking about the ways in which we can say face.
Yeah. Any love for VBIV? I don't think so, James. Alexis wouldn't count.
You'll have to wait for Arjun for that one.
Yeah. What does Paul have to say? V-Ray sales way up. Oh. Okay. Well, for tomorrow, right? V-Ray for tomorrow. All right. Hooray, V-Ray. See you, everybody. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And we'll look at TRMD tomorrow also. Arjun likes that one. And we'll look at biotech that Professor Omar gave me tomorrow. Hasta la vista, baby. As always, diligence, because our opinions are our own, not investment advice. Check with an advisor before acting. Please subscribe. Ciao.